He was a beautiful person. He had a beautiful heart. He had a beautiful spirit.
A family tragedy shocks the local community to its core after a renowned opera singer was allegedly stabbed to death by his own son. We're live from Santa Monica.
A challenging task for the U.S. Coast Guard. Why the agency says it will take several more weeks to clear a cargo ship that caught fire at the Port of L.A.
And confused about what to wear, the above-average temperatures continue across the Southland, but we are expecting changes. Hello, I'm David Owen.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. You're watching Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock, live on ABC 7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. The voice of Grammy-nominated opera singer Jubilant Sykes has been forever silenced.
Sykes was stabbed to death in his Santa Monica home, and his son is in custody. Investigators say the victim's son has a history of mental health problems and is cooperating with police. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter is live in Santa Monica with the latest developments. Leanne.
David and Giovanna, so much shock in this case. As you said, his name is Jubilant Sykes, but family and friends say it was more than just his name. They say that is who he was, full of love and life, sharing his music and his heart with the world. Jubilant Sykes was known for his acclaimed voice, performing here at Carnegie Hall and all around the world for decades.
No hope have I for tomorrow.
Friends and family say the Grammy-nominated singer's voice was just as big as his heart.
Amazing singer, amazing person, amazing personality, just a light.
He was a beautiful person. He had a beautiful heart. He had a beautiful spirit.
He's always doing things throughout the world.
Yeah.
Throughout the world, but never forgot where he came from.
Santa Monica police say the 71-year-old was brutally stabbed at his home last night, his wife calling 911 for help.
Officers also made contact with his son, Micah Sykes, who was inside the home, cooperated with police, and he was taken into custody without incident.
The 31-year-old who lived with his parents arrested for murder. Friends say Micah has struggled with mental illness. Everyone's stunned by the deadly violence.
I'm in shock. This community is in shock. My family's in shock. We're in shock.
Those who knew Sykes' son say they knew he struggled mentally, but say they never expected something like this to happen. It'll be up to the DA to decide exactly what charges he will face. Live in Santa Monica, Leanne Suter, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Leanne, thank you. A father accused of murdering his newborn has pleaded not guilty to charges today. Youssef Dawis's 3-week-old son, Baki, was reported missing by his grandmother in May of last year. The baby was last seen at a Palmdale home. Investigators searched for Baki's remains in an Antelope Valley landfill, but ended up calling off the search. Baki's body has not been recovered. The baby's mother is not considered a suspect.
Tonight, new insight into last month's major container ship fire off the Port of L.A. First responders are addressing the toxic debris and water collected off the vessel and what's being done to keep the chemicals from entering the ocean. Eyewitness News reporter Jory Rand is in downtown L.A. with the story.
In today's LA City Council committee meeting, we heard from the Coast Guard, the LAFD, the LAPD, the unions doing the repair work, and the company that runs the terminals where this happened in the Port of Los Angeles. And what we learned today is there is still a lot of work to be done. It was 18 days ago that a fire broke out on the cargo ship 1 Henry Hudson in the Port of Los Angeles. It would continue to burn for nearly a week, and throughout that time, firefighters were spraying millions of gallons of water onto the burning containers. Today, LA City Council held a meeting to get a progress report from the Coast Guard to find out what caused the fire and when the ship will be cleared.
That process is still underway, and it probably won't be, we won't have an official answer for that for a couple months.
The removal of all contaminated materials will take weeks to complete. 4 million gallons of water was sprayed onto the ship during the firefight, and all of it remains on board. All that extra weight can cause severe instability, so you can't simply drain all the water or take off all the contaminated containers at once. Instead, they will alternate water and cargo a bit at a time. The contaminants will have to be analyzed, identified, then removed.
The next phase, which we're currently in developing, is how do you get the water off of the ship. Right now we're talking about potentially putting it onto a barge. Once it goes onto a barge, then what facility do you bring it to? So we're working on what that looks like.
This all happened in LA City Councilman Tim McCosker's district, and while he heard a lot of positives today about the response to the fire, he still has a lot of questions moving forward. This all happened in LA City Councilman Tim McCosker's district. He was there the night of the fire taking these photographs, and while he heard a lot of positives about the response to this fire today, he still has a lot of questions moving forward. Now that's on the event itself. McCosker also talked about communication or lack thereof the night of the fire. Residents complained they weren't notified that there was even a problem, and secondarily, they weren't notified when the problem was over. McCosker says that's something that's going to have to be looked into, especially because he says the current system has no way to notify residents that a threat has passed. In downtown LA outside City Hall, Jory Rand, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Jory, thank you. A lawsuit has been filed in a crash involving a semi-truck in Ontario that killed 3 people. Former Pomona High School assistant basketball coach Clarence Nelson was among those killed on October 21st. The lawsuit filed by his family alleges the driver failed to hit his brakes on the 10 freeway as traffic was slowing. The truck crashed into the back of a vehicle and caused an 8-vehicle pileup. The lawsuit accuses the truck driver and the company of acting negligently. Meanwhile, the driver, Jashanpreet Singh, has pleaded not guilty to vehicular manslaughter and reckless driving charges.
A social media hip-hop influencer known as Clinton Lord pleaded not guilty to felony rape charges. Clinton Adams is accused of sexually assaulting 2 women in separate occasions over the summer. Prosecutors say the 32-year-old lured the victims to a vacant area impacted by the January wildfires before attacking them. Adams remains in custody on a $1.4 million bail. His next court appearance is in January. Police believe there may be more victims.
The FBI has released new photos of one of its 10 most wanted fugitives, Ryan Wedding, suspected of drug trafficking. Wedding was once known for something else entirely. He was an Olympian, competing in snowboarding for Canada at the 2002 Winter Games. Now he is accused of running a transnational drug ring that shipped hundreds of kilos of cocaine from Colombia through Mexico and Southern California into Canada.
Well, today the Alhambra Police Department honored one of its fellow officers killed following a suspected stolen SUV chase last month in Alhambra. A private funeral service was held for 28-year-old Alex Sanders at Shepherd Church in Porter Ranch. He had been with the department for just 8 months. Sanders was covering a colleague's shift when he was fatally injured in the collision with a stolen SUV. Sanders is survived by his fiancée, 2 younger sisters, and a brother.
Emotional testimony from several U.S. citizens from Southern California saying they were violently and unjustly detained by federal immigration agents. They spoke today at a forum in Washington, D.C. Their testimonies are among the more than 20 included in a Senate subcommittee report denouncing federal immigration authorities, saying U.S. citizens have been physically assaulted, pepper sprayed, denied medical treatment, and detained at times for days. In July, U.S. Army veteran George Retez was arrested at an immigration raid in Camarillo. He says he was detained naked in a hospital gown and put on suicide watch.
I remained in those conditions from Friday morning until the moment I was released. My family had no idea where I was. I was released without explanation and without a single charge.
Since June, Eyewitness News has asked the Department of Homeland Security about reports like this, but the agency continues to deny it has arrested U.S. citizens.
Well, the LA County Board of Supervisors has approved a motion to help protect the paychecks of detained or deported immigrants. The ordinance would allow families to recover an employee's last paycheck when the employee is unavailable, regardless of immigration status. It would do so by requiring employers to provide workers with a form that would identify a person authorized to collect the paycheck. The motion would also require businesses to deliver final paychecks to those authorized individuals.
Cal State Northridge today announced a major donation to the school, $63 million from philanthropist Mackenzie Scott. It's her second gift to CSUN following a $40 million donation in 2021. Scott is the ex-wife of Amazon co-founder Jeff Bezos and was herself an important figure in the company's early success. Her divorce settlement from Bezos included Amazon stock shares that made her one of the richest women in the world.
Well, still ahead, why Japan is warning its residents about a possible mega quake.
Plus, how LA County leaders plan to